Hello, my internet friends. Welcome to the Rigel Show. We're coming at you live from my Earth Dome here in Austin, Texas, also known as my mystical driftwood fort on the sandy beach of the cosmic navel, where song runs through all of reality. For those of you who are new, maybe you're paddling by on your own piece of driftwood looking for a place to build a driftwood fort with some friends. Boy, I can't talk today. I've been up since like 4 a.m. and my tongue isn't working right. This is your invitation. What's up, Almond Tree? Nice to see you out there. This space is a playful Theotokian riparian zone that seeks to integrate traditional values, modern values, progressive postmodern values, and that which is emerging on the bleeding edge of the noosphere, postmodern values. All you have to do is click the link and show up. Who knows? Maybe I'll even ask about the home you grew up in. Here at the Cosmic Navel, we sponge paint with light and dark. We smear together mud and straw, warm, gentle beauty, and cold, unwavering truth. Science and philosophy. Self-expression and self-sacrifice, like jazz. If you over-identify with self-sacrifice energy, then anything self-expressive becomes suspect and a slippery slope towards perdition. If you over-identify with the express self energy, then anything self-sacrificial looks imprisoning and like dumb conformity. But these two energies, energia, if you will, work best when they dance together in perichoresis. Not at war with each other, but in friendship. A truing up of each other's deficits when brought together in a playful collision, erupting in an explosion of creativity begetting creativity. That which is at the heart of the cosmos is here in the Cosmic Navel, where song runs through all of reality. So today, I'm going to enter the Cosmic Navel by playing a little something. Man, I've been up since 4 in the morning and my brain is just barely working, but I was thinking I'd throw on a little Rigel drone note, Rigel singing the chant note, and just play some notes on top of that. I'll bring my fingers to the stage and just see where it takes me, okay? I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes. If you're out there and you want to kind of jump on at some point, just click that link and make sure your camera's on so I can see you. And then we'll just have fun together. I'm going to need y'all's help today to bring the Cosmic Navel alive. Okay? All right, so here we go. Let's get, I got my fingers on the screen. So we can get that drone note going, got my timer going. Can you hear the drone note? Okay. Oh, piano. Let's turn down that drone note just a little. That's a good place to stop. All right. Thank you, Rigel, for providing me with some drone note from the past. That's really a drone note calling out from the eternal present, which is already but not yet. Nice to see you out there. Oh, Sam, nice seeing you. Y'all, the link's it's in there. Join me. Almond Tree, this music is so relaxing. Thank you. And my roommates are doing Trump impersonations over it. That's actually one of the most beautiful things I feel like that could draw this type of music into perichoresis with the culture. Okay, that's beautiful. Pick and choose sounds lovely. Matt, building. Awesome, y'all. So I'm just going to start talking about the things that have been on my plate until some of you show up. I am so freaking excited about something. And the reason why I've been up since 4 freaking a.m. Sam, oh my gosh. Okay, Sam, can you hear me and everything?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, though, for some reason.
Now. Better? Hello? No?
Hold on. It may not be you. It may be... Hold on. I was playing around with audio settings. Oh, why is my speaker... No, it's not you, it's me. Can you try saying something again?
I've heard that line before.
Oh, man. Let's see. Sorry. Say something again.
Yeah. This is Sam.
Sam, you're so loud. Okay, hold on. Let's try that. You've been through this with me before, so just... Let me just
my mic volume. Is that better?
How about this?
This automatically adjust.
Okay, maybe that's better. All right. Sorry,
can you hear me
everyone
now?
Out there. Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay, so sorry about that. New earbuds.
Sam, I was just about to say that the thing that I have been working on kind of nonstop for the last 3 weeks, partly why I missed last week, is, have you ever heard the term vibe coding?
Oh yeah, man. I'm all in that space, bro.
Dude, I didn't hear about it until my wife told me. She was like, Rigel, what you're doing is vibe coding, and this is like a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Brian of College Station, nice to see you. Luke, hanging out until I have to leave for greener pastures. You know what? We know where that pastor is as well, over on the PVK channel, probably.
He's a pastor.
Back to vibe coding. So I've been in the process of, my 100 Days of Songwriting community.
Yes.
Well, we've been, I'm going to get in the weeds for a second here. We've been,
Please do.
That community has been hosted on a platform called Mighty Networks, which is one of these like turnkey social media style platforms where you can kind of build community, and it's great for certain things, but not great for like sharing audio, and it's kind of clunky. And so at the same time that I've been getting kind of annoyed with this platform, I've been thinking about expanding 100 Days of Songwriting to 100 Days of Creating, so I can include like all my other creative friends that I want to be like creating with. And I'm also one of those friends because I do a lot of art welding now, as you know, right? I'm not just in the music scene. I'm going to take my fingers off the screen because I just realized it's kind of distracting. So I have been vibe coding, creating a Stripe connection, a payment gateway between Discord and my website and my email system, and like getting them all talking to each other and like testing. I didn't realize how much testing goes into this whole process, but like every little single piece has to be like tested, because if something breaks, you have to go back and like troubleshoot at the last point that you tested. So I have been vibe coding, me and ChatGPT, who is now maybe, I'm referring to ChatGPT as a who, which is not a good sign. Not a good sign, Sam.
We need a Vervaeke clip. Don't
Don't talk to it. But I now have like a Discord community that is very customized and creates this interesting kind of permeable space between public and private. It's really hard to do with communities. There's like ways to kind of lock them down, and you can be like inside a platform, but it's really hard to create this like this membrane where people can kind of come out of the lurk. And that's really this whole, I mean, there's a lot of overlap between the TLC and like this whole creative process.
Yes.
A lot of overlap.
Yes.
So anyways, it's been exciting getting all this stuff, like talking to each other, getting the platform up and running, and I'm like now in soft launch mode. So if you or anyone else is interested in kind of soft launching and testing it out, little UI, user experience testing, I will gladly take you up on that. So
can you just send the link to my email since you have it?
Yeah. I'll send you a link. And anyone else, if you, I'm going to put Sherry.
Hi.
I'm going to put my new email address. Check this out. Rigel at 100daysofcreating.com. I'm putting that in the chat. If anyone's interested in like soft launching this thing with me, I will just shoot me an email and we'll connect.
What did I miss? What did I miss? I didn't hear.
Oh, I am like I'm expanding the scope of 100 Days of Songwriting to 100 Days of Creating. And I just set up the community and I'm freaking so excited about it.
Yeah.
Partly because the logo that my wife and I designed like didn't work at first. And then we did a little like refresh and it's like baller. So
cool.
Can you share that too?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Here. Okay. Actually, why don't I show you? Why don't I just do a little show and tell with this logo? Because this was such a fun freaking thing that we did. Okay. So let me, 100 Days Songwriting, DSW. Okay. So, boy, can I actually grab a screenshot of this? Let's see. Let's see, you guys. Okay, I'm doing like, this is live action screenshots. I'm just going to kind of show you where I'm at. So I just took that image file, sharing screen. Screenshot. It's this. Okay, so I'm going to share this first. Can you all see that?
Yep.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So the way this logo came about is Polly, my wife, designed this 100 Days of Songwriting logo in Illustrator. So it was like a kind of a hard-lined vector file. And then she gave it to me, and I cut it out of a lino block.
Oh, nice.
Right? And then gave it back to her, and she kind of cleaned it up with, with Illustrator and all that fun stuff. So that the top one is kind of where things ended up with the little notes and the sunshine and 100 Days of Songwriting. And like the sunshine is kind of connected to mornings, which is part of my inspiration for this whole community. Creative Mornings was like very instrumental in kind of developing my own practice. And this logo has been great for music, but for, as we broaden to all creative forms, it's just a little too music centric. So last night, I kind of cashed in some marital I don't know if I actually had anything to cash in. I'll be honest. I was already like, I was running on a deficit. I've been like, ever since I've done this like transition, I have been creating, been some friction, you know, and it's
You're
good.
But you have the reserve currency, so it's okay if we inflate away our
That's right.
capital via
That's right.
greater debt. Yeah.
Exactly. So, so last night I was like, Polly, do you think you could like take a look at this? Because I had a friend look at the website. I had like everything set up, and he's like, you know what? This logo doesn't communicate like creativity for everybody. This just tells me like, oh, this is for songwriters, and it's really good at communicating that. And so I was like, okay, time to talk with my wife. And it turned into this amazing family project. She brought her computer out, you know, VP of creative at her company. And then we had Ozzy, my son, who I forgot. I'm not supposed to say his name out on the internet, but, you know, sometimes
That's a pseudonym.
we make mistakes. Yeah, it's a pseudonym. He was just throwing down with like creative advice. And it was just like this fun family project. And let me share what we came up with. Super easy, but this is what we did.
I like this. This is great.
My wife and I, we do this professionally too, so I'm excited.
Really? Oh my gosh. Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
I'll run you through all of the things that we did. So then, here, with white background. That's what I need. Okay, here we go. Image file. There's got to be better ways to share stuff here, but you know what? I'm learning. I'm low on sleep. Low on sleep is also kind of a fun place to be.
Yes. The creative ideas just sort of flow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. So all we did is replace the notes with the 100 days. So we get to preserve all of that fun, custom energy.
Yes.
Bring JD on here. Hey, JD.
What's going on?
Good. I've never met you before. Welcome.
Cheers. Yeah, for sure. I like that logo. I'm a logo designer. I don't do it that much anymore these days, but I love the process that you were talking about too, with how you developed the logo.
Yeah. No, it was like magical, you know. And I feel like that's the way logos design can be kind of like a sacred experience.
Oh, I love it.
Oh yeah.
And so this is like the banner version. And now I'm going to bring you the other version, which is like the square. So this is the square version.
Mm-hmm.
I like that even better.
I know, isn't that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then, like what I'm thinking for maybe t-shirts, like right now I just have, this is my old 100 Days of Songwriting t-shirt, this is going to be an artifact that's worth millions. When this ushers in the next renaissance, like people are going to be scrambling for this shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, can we hold the
taking a
thought about
screenshot of
ushering
you.
in the next renaissance? Can we hold that? Hold
We'll
on.
come back to the next renaissance. So then, I don't know if this is going to show up. Let's see what happens. Oh man, come on.
We kind of see it.
It doesn't have a white background. Let me see if I have it.
That sun itself is just so cool, even on its own.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because of the lino block. That's
Right.
awesome.
Exactly.
Right.
Great.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to find I'll just bring this back to the stage, and you can just imagine just the 100 by itself without the days, which says 100 days. I mean, that's the brilliance of this freaking logo it's like show, don't tell, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways,
Beautiful.
gotta give my wife some serious props for,
You know what I like?
What do you like?
There's almost a little C in that sun for creative.
Oh my God. And it's almost like coming down kenosis. Okay. It's just reaching down to find us all in our kind of black and white.
It's also eating up the 100 days.
Yeah.
Because the quality of the sunlight is actually of more substance than the quantity of the days.
Dang it, Sam. You need to be on my branding team. Oh my gosh.
And for me, the letter C has always been yellow, so it worked.
Yeah. The letter C has always been yellow?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Say more about that.
All the letters have a color to me. So definitely the letter C has always been yellow.
No way.
And it's weird because like when sometimes I it's a little dissonant for me when the letters don't match up with the colors and things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's a Z or a Z?
Yellow as well.
Oh.
That's an S.
A is red, B is green, C is yellow, D is blue, E is white, F is brown, G is a different shade of brown, H is like a beige, I is yellow, J is green, K is like a indigo, and on and on and on.
Oh wow. Cool.
Wow.
And that's just how you see them, or did you?
That's how I see them in my mind's eye. Yeah, I don't know if it was because maybe when I was like really young, like maybe I saw those letters displayed in that color or whatever. But whatever it is, it locked in. Same with numbers. Yeah.
Right on. Well, before we get to the next Renaissance, JD, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me just like briefly about the home you grew up in.
Oh wow. Both my parents were musical, and my mother was a poet, and my father led the music ministry in all the church events and religious events growing up. And I grew up in a very devout, charismatic Catholic home. And so we would go to all these different charismatic prayer meetings and stuff with my dad doing the music. And then that was in the 80s. And my parents ended up having a rocky time, and in the 90s it was really rough, and my father had a what do you call it, instability with his work situation. And but he was like the hardest working person I've ever known despite it. And then probably in my early 20s he got cancer, and 6 years later he was gone, and they were able to mend their relationship during that time. Yeah, that got deep, sorry about that. But yeah, there's a lot to go over in the home you grew up in, that's that's a heavy question.
Well, we can come back to it another time. I just got a little like picture, just a flavor for your upbringing. That's really cool.
Right on.
And how did you find this space?
So 2023 August, my mother died suddenly, unexpectedly, and I wanted to really lean into my faith more. She was sort of my spiritual guide in life. She was the person I went through for everything. She was gone, and being a Catholic and the whole thing about communion and confession and everything like that led me to I wanted to have communion at her funeral, and I started digging deep into Catholic teaching and stuff, where I would usually just go to my mother to ask all my spiritual questions and stuff like that. And I discovered that the version of Catholicism that all like the Catholic experts believe in is so alien to me, and I felt very, very, long story short, I felt very on the verge of like spiritual collapse and despair and stuff. And I started just scouring the internet for religious and Christian voices that gave me a sense of hope. And I found sort of this whole TLC thing, and that became one of my sources of good vibes. So,
wonderful.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. See, the internet does good.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you showed up. Have you been on other people's streams?
A little bit here and there. Like I think I popped on one or two of Luke's stream and Nate, and I think I popped on one where they had Jordan Daniel Wood on, and they were talking about universalism, and that's a big thing for me. My whole life, I've never understood. Like it's something I used to talk to my mom about ever since I was like a little kid. I never understood how I could possibly be okay with anybody being in hell if I got to heaven, and so that was a really cool conversation that they were having, and I had to join in on that. And but I haven't really popped on many of these.
Yeah. Well, I'm not quiet about my kind of universalist tendencies, so glad to know there's like other people out there. It is a little bit weird because it's not a popular belief. It's kind of like a condemned belief, but it's like actually more beautiful and more difficult than, in my opinion, than the alternatives.
It's to me, I can't think of anything more beautiful than that would be, and I can't think of anything really more horrific than it would be to be in heaven and knowing that someone you cared about is lost in hell. And I don't know, that would feel like its own version of hell.
Yeah.
You know, so
I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, Sherry, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Just have my camera off for a minute.
That's okay. You had mentioned the next Renaissance, and I just wanted to circle back, as they say in boardrooms. Want to circle back to that and just check in if you have some thoughts on that, or if there's something else that's kind of bubbling up since then.
Is that boardrooms as in BORED?
Or, I mean, is there a difference?
Yeah, right.
That's the other thing.
Yeah. No, are you done? Okay. I've been there's a channel, what's his name now? I forget his name, but he's a Harvard professor, young guy, literature, poetry mostly. It's close reading. That's what it's called. Close reading poetry. And he mostly offers courses offline, but he has a YouTube channel. And he's been talking about the signs that precede a new Renaissance culturally. And then he goes back historically to show this, and this kind of come together. And then there's a new Renaissance and so he's saying that we're in the dawn of a new Renaissance, which I've always had that sense, actually, because when there's a loss of meaning, that's what people do, is they go looking for it, right? And that brings about a new Renaissance. I mean, that's my very simplistic way of, he's doing a better job of lining that out. But yeah, I just find that that's an optimistic take, and I'm an optimist. So, it's kind of like people are screaming about AI and afraid of it. And I'm like, yeah, but all I'm noticing is how much it's pushing people to realize what does it mean to be human, right?
Yeah. It's forcing that question in a way that is just there's never been like real pressure on that question. It's been kind of a question that those who are really kind of forward thinking and
it for a long time, consciousness was in the hard problem category. Oops.
Right.
And I think what it meant to be human was also in that category, because of course that has everything to do with consciousness, right? So yeah. Thoughts?
I think I may have like stumbled onto that guy. I don't know. I stumbled onto some video of a guy who was talking about this new Renaissance, but I wasn't able to finish watching it.
Yeah. Hey, Matt.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm getting a little echo from you, but if you just keep yourself muted whenever you're not chatting, that should fix that. But I don't think I've like seen you. I don't know if you've ever been on my little channel
Never.
before, but I've like seen you everywhere, and I feel like I know your name. It's like part of my being.
That's so cool, man. Well, it's good to finally meet you.
Yeah, you too.
And hi, everybody else, Jerry and JD.
Where are you kind of calling in from?
So, the great state of Texas, where you are at. Yeah,
What? Where?
That's right. Let's
If you're
say-
comfortable sharing, you don't have to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
specific.
no. We'll say 100 miles outside of San Antonio. I'm out in the boonies. So,
Nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
Dude,
I'm in the woods for real.
well,
so-
if you ever make it into the city, the
Yeah,
Austin
yeah.
city, look me
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, you play piano at Trulux, is that right?
Yeah.
Is that what I heard? Yeah. So, what happened? Luke pulled me in on one of his streams. And I
Okay.
think I did like maybe 2, maybe 3. I think Luke is really good at that. So,
Yeah.
and then you came on one, or many of them, and you were talking about your experience from coming from Washington State to
Yeah.
Texas and your Christian journey and how you are where you are now. And then I also just noticed that you live in a dome, which is really cool. So
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta hop on this dude's vibe. I love it. So you got something with you, man. And like, I don't know, something kind of clicked there. And then you followed me back on Twitter. I made a real Twitter account, yada, yada, yada. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to click the button. So
Dude, I'm so glad you
Yeah,
came on. I feel like, yeah, we definitely need to hang out when our paths look. This is what 4 a.m. does to you.
oh, dude, I'm no sleep too. So
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
the vibe is on for sure.
Bro, the cosmic navel, man, it can handle all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. I love it.
Okay.
Hey,
Sorry. Yeah.
Rigel, could you at some point? I'm very curious about this dome.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, okay.
I would love to learn about this dome.
Well, I want to get back to the next Renaissance.
Okay,
But-
I popped a link in the
Okay.
chat. I don't know, Rigel, I don't know if anyone can click on it or copy paste it, but there it is.
Yeah.
But it's the first video he did on it, 7 signs of a Renaissance.
Oh, right on. Yeah. If you, I can maybe post that in the description at some point later
Sure.
too. So,
Yeah.
okay. So what you're looking at is the one side of the dome. That's my icon corner and piece of art. Little bookshelf. And you look up, can I bring the camera? Here we go. Can you see up? There's a skylight.
Nice.
Okay.
I have fantasized about building something like that forever. That is so cool.
You can do it.
That's awesome.
That is so cool.
And then
It
this
kind
is
of
the,
reminds me of Rabbit's house in Winnie the Pooh.
oh my, I mean, that was like that. There's probably some influence there. And then
Yeah.
this is the entryway. That's this like weird synthesis of like sheetrock and then dome. What happened is when I was building it, I mean, I can go into the whole story at some point, but I don't have to do that now.
Is it
I'll
below
just say-
ground level?
Huh?
Is it below ground level?
Dude, I dug a 3-foot freaking hole and used the earth from my backyard to put in the bags. And then you basically use a chain.
The earth bag. Oh,
Yeah, the earth
man.
bag. It's earth bag.
Oh,
it's like,
that's awesome.
Right.
it's super simple to build. It's just
That's
very
awesome.
time consuming.
Yeah.
Laborious.
Laborious, yeah. So anyways, I should do like a legitimate tour of the dome sometime on the
Oh
stream.
man, I would
You
love
know,
that.
what you should do is you probably have photos of when you were building it.
Yeah.
Put together like a
Little
slideshow.
slideshow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great idea. Great idea, Sherry.
Yeah, and then I have that kind of documented, and it's not just me talking at the camera. That's the thing. It's really hard to tell the story without people in the room asking questions, be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Tell me how you did that. because it was a fun journey. All right, I will maybe do that. I'll think about doing that next time if I have time this week. So back to the next Renaissance. I feel like I think hope is kind of edgy right now in the midst of a, coming out of like a very nihilistic culture, where being skeptical and kind of deconstructive is that was hip for, a long time, coming out of the 50s, 60s, 70s, right? But I think the pendulum might be swinging just a little bit.
Hope core?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Hope core? Are we hope coring?
Yeah, dude. We're hope maxing.
Hope maxing.
Freaking hope maxing.
Yeah.
We're like hope pilled.
Yes, yeah.
I've always been hope pilled. Even when I was lost, I'm like, oh, well, can't be lost forever.
Yeah. I love that. And not all who wander are lost. I feel like that would be kind of your... Didn't Gandalf say that?
That's kind of coming back, how it used to be like a thing that you would see over a spare tire. The spare tire covers, you would just see that all the time. And like, that was like pre-internet, and now it's coming back all over the internet. I love it.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are a lot of interesting new artists who are kind of reaching back for I don't even know what to call it. Like there's one guy named Finnegan Tui. Have you ever seen any of his stuff? Finnegan Tui, Tui is his last name. He's got a ton of shorts, and he's usually sitting in the desert, and playing incredible guitar and singing lyrics that are just like really meaningful, really beautiful, really meaningful. And it's he's got this one song called "Lean In," and I'll just give you a little taste of kind of where he's going.
Lean in. I love that.
Finnegan.
Lean into life.
Finnegan Tui.
Yeah.
Here we go. I need some glasses.
Petey, do you know Petey?
Hmm.
He's a kind of a creator / musician. He's got a song called Lean Into Life, I think. It's really good.
So, and he reads it as a like spoken word. So, yeah, you guys can look it up on YouTube. Sometimes I stop to listen, tune my ear to the humming between everything, the seed and the sun, a blade of rain and the black of the ocean. Life wants to live itself, so lean in. And if you're gentle, a rhythm might emerge, form in the formless, silence, drumming, howling. Desire is asking us to dance. But it isn't easy to let go. Our stories domesticate us. We suspect cruelty behind the eyes of the kind and dissect the archaeology of our own imaginations. On these maps, there is no room for miracles. Yet still, somehow it's possible. Harvest, tears, spring, in the embers of a fire, all of a sudden, there it is. I remember, as I finally hear it, society is just a clearing in the forest. The flames begin to whisper with the wind, and this time I believe them.
Wow.
Powerful.
Oh, yeah.
That's
it is
incredible.
wow. It's really wow. Look him up. He's got all kinds of stuff on YouTube. And to me, he's a sign of the times. That's what he is. He's the spearhead of a movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of people who. That's why I get excited about him, because he's probably a very sensitive person and just a bit of a barometer. But he's not the only one feeling the way he feels, right?
Yeah. And artists, I mean, isn't there, I'm not like an art expert at all, but from my understanding, the new kind of cultural thought, and I want to say worldviews kind of come through or break through the artist.
Yeah.
Because artists, I mean, not all artists, but many artists they're kind of breaking through parts of themselves in the process of creating. And it just, yeah.
The guy that the link that I put in there, he did a second video this week, and he talked about how, because he was getting all kinds of pushback from people about this idea of a new renaissance. Interestingly enough, what do we call those people? Party poopers. That's what I call them. But he was saying that these new ideas come from the uneducated, the self-taught. And then he goes into this huge list of like Keats and Coleridge, and like Coleridge dropped out of college or whatever you want to call it, higher education. I can't remember them all, but he gives a Dickinson, Thoreau, just on and on and on. And they revolutionized the way that society saw things, right? And one of the things I'm kind of anticipating actually at the moment is Barfield and Steiner. They have this idea of original participation, withdrawal, and then final participation. And I don't think that's like a one-time pattern. That's a pattern because, this guy that has the channel, he talks about how there are always renaissances, right? Mm-hmm. But they're always preceded by these other things. And so I think that has to do with the idea of a new renaissance, right? That you move out of, there's a withdrawal away from, what I would call reality, like something that has actual substance. And then it pushes you into this renewal of what Barfield called original participation. And Barfield wrote an essay called Romanticism Comes of Age. Mm-hmm. Because he felt, as did many others, that Romanticism kind of stopped short. It got to a certain spot and then it just petered out. I think it got subsumed actually by rationality. And now I think there's an opportunity for Romanticism to come of age, actually, because of figures like Jordan Peterson, John Vervaeke, Jonathan Pajot, because they're doing the thing that Rudolf Steiner foresees, which is marrying science to, for lack of a better word, religion, right? That they're not at odds with each other, but they actually belong together. So
yeah. Barfield has come up a lot lately in just like people I've been listening to, people I've been talking with, and I'm surprised I haven't read any of his stuff because it sounds. What was that? Was it like a 3-stage process you were talking about?
Original participation, and I just like to think about it as Eden. Right? Yeah. Or even childhood. Yeah. And then withdrawal. So that's when they get kicked out of the garden, or as a child you age out of your imagination, essentially. And then final participation is when those things come back together for you, where you can take your experience of the withdrawal, but marry it back to that sense of wonder.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Man, that follows so many. I mean, that it reminds me of the, thesis, antithesis, synthesis,
Yeah.
As like a never-ending part
Cycle.
of evolution that just like keeps. I feel like this is what
Well, I mean, it's
Paul
death,
talking
birth, and
about, moving
death,
from
birth, and
glory to glory.
resurrection,
Yeah,
Roger.
yeah,
And what's interesting about resurrection for Christians is that we don't lose our bodies, right? So the material matters.
yeah.
The matter matters.
Matter matters.
Mhm. Yep.
Oh, man,
That's
so
me.
rich.
I'm Matt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Signs in the Dust says very dualistic framing in Barfield. I don't know.
No.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. Come on in here, Signs in the Dust.
Yeah, come in. I would love
Come
to
in.
meet you.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, and just from, I'm thinking about my own just growth process as a human being. And like every time I learn something new or come to some sort of like epiphany, aha moment, it's usually preceded by a lot of struggle. Like something is kind of dying and then it breaks and like I'm able to just see something that I couldn't see or hear something that I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Trying to think of an example, but
Well, I mean, you're essentially trapped in the dark, right?
yeah.
So the first thing that comes to my mind is being in an egg, like a chick, you know? And I mean, their aha moment is like they literally hatch when they have no more room to grow. Can you imagine and it's the same for a baby being born, actually. The hormones that induce labor, they kick in when there's no more room for the baby to grow. Right?
Such a good metaphor. Oh my
And
God. Sherry.
So I mean, if you put yourself in the egg or in the womb, there's a little bit of claustrophobia happening.
Yeah.
It's a little panicky, a little terrifying.
Get me
Like,
out of here.
what now? I'm going to die is really the feeling you're having, right?
Yeah.
Or they're having. And then all of a sudden you break through the breakthrough.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's the shell or the cervix.
Yeah. Yep.
And you see the light.
Sherry, you were just saying something about like the second fall, like a fall after a fall.
Mm-hmm.
Adolescence and puberty, I've heard it been said that that's kind of like a second fall.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. I heard that a long time ago, but that just bubbled up for me.
Yeah.
So just something to think about for, the younger generations and moving forward. And
it's also a breaking through too, right? Like,
but it's also kind of been taken too, like in a way. It kind of depends on that process. Like no kid is like, hey, I can't wait to be, bombarded by all these hormones. It just happens, it just happens, it just.
Totally. You know what? I'm dying, Rigel.
Yeah.
Can I email you a link? I've played it and I didn't get taken down by YouTube. I've played it a few times actually. And it's just so good.
Yeah, send me a link and we'll play it. I wanted to say before I forget, when you're talking about the egg metaphor, I mean, it's so good. God, Sherry, it's brilliant. It's like the egg, it hatches like just at the right time. And if the shell is broken too early, it just turns into an egg that's like nourishment for some other creature that's already been hatched.
Right.
So
well,
interesting.
and then the other thing that goes with hatching chicks that you have to learn is they have to struggle in order to survive. So if you see a chick struggling in the egg, like they poke, they have a little horn on their beak that literally just pushes so hard against the side of the egg because they're getting too big that it pokes it, right? So you'll always see this tiny little tent where that horn has pushed through. And then it can take a day for them to hatch, and I've done it in incubators, so I'm watching, and if you get too worried about it and go in there and take them out, they won't survive. They actually have to struggle because they have to introduce muscle right into this body that's just been forming in an egg. And anyway, yeah. So that's all in there too, Rigel.
Yeah.
You got to build muscle, right?
Indeed. Did you send me a link, or were you going to try to?
I'm just doing it now. Sorry, I'm not
Okay.
really. I'm not one of those keyboard warriors,
I can't. I have a hard time doing that too, Sherry. I'll be
And
honest.
I'm talking. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's on its way. And paste, Rigel, paste.
Paste.
Okay, we got it.
There's in the cosmic navel. There's room for technical just process.
It's like elementary school, cutting and pasting.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Here we go. All right, I'm going to
You're going to love this.
open this. Okay, hold on. Let me. I need to share my screen, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do a little screen share. Share screen. We're going to do this guy, 4 stages of life.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's see if this works. And make it big. And let's play.
He's very old in this video. He's like either 90 or close to it.
But what it does show me, perhaps, Richard, is that our life should be seen as fourfold, 4 stages of our development. And the first stage of our life is a newborn baby. The newborn baby is for itself not a newborn baby at all. All its hours of attention are that way. And it's not out there looking at itself saying, well, what a nice little baby I am, or absolutely no hours of attention going back to be self-conscious. All its areas of attention are in that direction. So the newborn baby is really living from being, living from this immensity, living from the first person. We're all born here, first person. And then we grow up a little bit and become toddlers and young children. And the faces around, we have many faces around us, our parents and brothers and sisters and so on, many faces around. And among the faces around us, when we are toddlers, young children, is a face in the mirror. And the face in the mirror is the face of a baby, of our friend. It's not one's own face. Never, never, never does a young child naturally look in the mirror and say, that's me. Absolutely not. Never, never, never. It's always my friend, that's baby, that's a playmate there. But parents have a job, which is to say, that's you in the mirror, Douglas. That's you.
Wow, that's like a playmate? That is so cool. All right, we'll keep going. By the way, if you want to say anything, just say pause, and I'll pause the video. This is how we spend our car rides from Austin to New Mexico. we listen to like podcasts, and then someone will be like, pause, 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 pause. I have something to say. So we're just on a ride through the cosmic navel.
You are going to love this so much, Rigel. So if you want to pause it and get excited, I'd love that.
Yeah, I want to keep. Okay, good. Let's keep going.
Ooh, that's you, that's you. And of course, one doesn't want to be left out in the cold. And one would agree to any crazy proposition in order to be not thrown out of the club, really. So in order to belong to the human club, I will agree, yes, all right, that's me there. For you, that's you, that's me. I look in the mirror, you tell me that's Douglas. I agree, that's Douglas, that's me. For you, shall we say, something like that. It's not spelled out, something like that. But when I'm on my own and happy and playing and wandering along the beach, or, fancy free, I'm not like that at all. I'm still first person, I'm still immense and living from my space, just as I was when I was a newborn baby. So a marvelous time of my life is stage number 2, which is the child, the young child, who is for himself, still as wide as the world. Though for others, he's joined the human club and says, I am what I look like. Stage 2. And then dark night falls, and we enter the 3rd stage. Say, I am what I look like. I've lost my space, now become my face. Is it any wonder that the teenagers are angry, having been shrunk from being as wide as the world into being a little thing here? Is it any wonder they're angry and behave so badly and don't know why? It's no wonder at all. They've got shrunk from what they are into what they look like. They've lost their immensity. And that thing in the mirror has come and invaded them here, which is illegitimate and nonsense and untrue. And nearly all of us stay at that 3rd stage of our lives. Tragic, it won't do. And our business is to go on to the 4th stage, where we get this thing here that's come here and put it back where it belonged, where it belongs. And we come like child, just as Jesus says, unless you become as little children, you will never enter the kingdom. And little children see their faces out there in the mirror, if at all, and they are in the kingdom of heaven. So the 4th stage is to see that thing in the mirror, that's what I am for others. Here, that's what I am for me. To recap these 4 stages, the first one is the newborn baby, that is first person, space for the world to happen in. Admittedly, the world of the first person here for the baby is chaotic and ill-organized. Second stage is a young child who is for others what he looks like, but for himself when fancy-free and not under criticism, not having to learn table manners, he is as wide as the world. So it's a wonderful time. A healthy child of 5 is a wonderful phenomenon. Joined the human club, refused to pay that fantastic, awful subscription. And what is the subscription for the 3rd stage? I am what I look like. And that's hell. That is hell in the end. I am what I look like is hell.
Man, I am what I look like. I am what I do for a living. I am what, people have been telling me I am. All right, keep going. Just getting excited.
Hell, you can't live from that. What I look like is dying. What I am isn't. It's all about life and death. The 4th stage. The 3rd stage is to condemn oneself to death, really. Because what you look like is dying, and what you are isn't. What you look like is dying. Douglas is obviously dying. What's his shelf life? Look. He's dying, 92. shelf life of months, probably.
Do
The
these?
fourth stage, sorry, just to recap, finish the recap, the fourth stage is, you've got what I look like, I've got what I am, and I'm going to live from that. That's where I operate from.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
He's got a vibe to him.
Well, let me read you a quote
I like
from
it.
a letter that C.S. Lewis wrote to him. He wrote a book, and we went through that book on Grail Country. I think that was the first book we ever did together, the first series of Grail Country episodes. But we did the, what do you call it? The abridged version. And the abridged version is maybe, I don't know, 200 pages or something. But the actual book, which I ordered and I have, and I've been slowly making my way through, is like 600 pages. And it's like this big. Okay. But he sent the abridged version to C.S. Lewis to read. And C.S. Lewis wrote him back, and he wrote this: "Hang it all, you've made me drunk, roaring drunk as I haven't been on a book. I mean, a book of doctrine. Imaginative works are another matter. Since I first read Bergson during World War I, who or what are you? How have I lived 40 years without my having heard of you before? My sensation is that you have written a book of the highest genius."
Wow.
That was Lewis to Harding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well,
I didn't really like the abridged version because he's got so much to say that it felt frantic because he just condensed it into this, 200-page book. I've really been enjoying the big book because it's full of his own little notes and where he got the ideas, and he's reading a lot of like metaphysical poets, and it's just super good.
Wow. Yeah, the place between the third stage and the fourth stage, like that just feels like a new birth, being born again.
It is.
And it's hard to know like exactly when you're there. Ezra!
It's also, Rigel, the reason I wanted you to watch it was because it's also a really good illustration of that idea of original participation that you find in the child, the withdrawal that you find in the teenager, and then the final participation that you find in the sage who, like he says, marries the sage and the child, get married back to one another.
Yeah.
Right?
And you know what? I mean, I don't know how to articulate this to my 100 Days of Creating community, but I feel like that's really what this community is about. Is like everyone who's come into the 100 Days of Songwriting community, I mean, most of them are older people, even older than me, who are coming back to something that they had in childhood that they kind of forgot about, and they're like reawakening it. So
Sherry, real quick, I'm not going to get into it, but that clip,
go for it.
that clip seriously resonated with me. I'll talk about it later.
Cool.
Yeah. Ezra, welcome. Good to see you again.
Good to see you guys. I was talking to Griswold Grimm on his channel, and I just dropped in and I saw Dougie Harding. So have you guys been talking about that for a while, or?
No, I just showed them that clip.
Oh yeah.
I'm always very anxious. He's such a gem. He's such a hidden gem, Douglas Harding.
Yeah. I've like never run across him.
Yeah, I forget how I heard about this book. It might have been Sam Harris. I used to listen to
Sam
him.
Harris really loves Douglas Harding and here's the thing, Douglas Harding got picked up by the Buddhist community. So his big work that I have is printed by a Buddhist publishing company, Shoal Trust. I don't even know how big they are. So I was afraid that it might just go out of print again. So I bought one right away because I was like, I have to have this. This is important, you know? Yeah.
Ezra, is that the book that Sherry was talking about?
No.
Oh, okay, it's a different
this
one.
is like a really short book.
Okay.
And I think I was just drawn to the title, On Having No Head.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was interested in Zen for several years. And it's a profound experience reading that book. And like trying to have the same experience, because this book's kind of just the description of his sort of awakening experience. And I just tried to, it's like, I just took it like instructions. Okay, I'm going to try to have the same experience he had. And like I felt like I could get a little bit of it. And
he has this, he actually tries to make it very concrete. He has an experiment that you can do. He has several actually. And one of them is to point at, this is just to get you to clue in to what you never notice. So he says, point at something in the room, point at another thing, and notice that when you point at something, you can see the thing you're pointing at and you can see your finger.
Wow.
You can see both those things. Now point at yourself. You can't see what you're pointing at. Okay? And that's why he calls it On Having No Head, because he says basically we have no head. We only see ourselves reflected in the other. And not just the other person, but everything around us. And so he goes like in his big book, he goes right out into the cosmos. Like he takes you right out into the galaxies and and beyond. And you're all of that, And then he takes you on a journey inside into your, mitochondria. It's just phenomenal. But he does it in such an incredible way.
Yeah, I've seen there's like some video series he made or something where he tells you to like put a tube up to the television. Like take a piece of paper, make a tube, put it up to the television and look at his face. And it's like, okay, how many faces are on this end of the tube? Can you see at this end of the tube? Okay, and how many faces do you see on the other end of the tube?
None.
You don't really have a face.
You don't have a face.
And there's like arguments in the book, like, if you start arguing that, well, I can see my nose, and it's like that weird blurry shape that you see, you're going to tell me that this is the evidence that you're basing, it's very interesting.
Yeah, it is. But here's the deal. He's a Christian. But Christians didn't hear a word that he was saying. Except for C.S. Lewis, who wrote the preface.
That's our biggest problem.
Yeah. And so the Buddhist community just jumped all over him, right? Because, but what, he's got some talks. I'll send you a couple of talks that he gave, Rigel, where, he'll very gingerly just invoke God or Jesus or scripture into this like room full of New Agers, basically, because he says that's what's important to him, right? So he's giving himself permission to talk about God and Jesus and stuff like that. But it's it's super unfortunate that Christianity did not get that memo. It's just like,
yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know anything. I don't really know anything about him.
Well, because we did it on Grail Country, we got the book out and we started reading it. And this was actually my first foray into any kind of propositional language about metaphysics at all. And then I was really resonating with what he was saying, kind of like JD said about the clip. It was just like grabbing me. And I thought, what do we have in common? Something is there. I just can feel it. And so I looked him up on the internet, and he came from the same denominational background that I did, okay, the Plymouth Brethren. And he was shunned by his family, as was I, okay, because that's part of their shtick, right? And for him, it was worse because it was, I don't know when it was. He was 20 something when it happened, and he was disinherited, and he couldn't even go to his father's funeral. And then it pushed him into asking the question, who am I? And that's exactly what happened to me. That was the same, it was the exact same thing. Who am I? Right? And because he asked that question, he found out that he was no one. He had no head. He was everything else.
Wow. Heavy.
Really. But beautiful. And he's really full of joy. Like when you listen to him talk, he's funny. Like he said in that clip, I'm 92. What's my shelf life? Maybe a couple of days, right?
Shelf life. That term comes up so much now for me. I don't think I'm alone there. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shelf life.
It was occurring to me when he was talking about, not identifying with what you look like. That's like your material. It's like materialism. It's like the idea that, what I am is this material body.
Right.
And I think there is and he was saying that that's hell. And I was like, I think there's a pretty close relationship between this material reality is what's most real and hell. Yeah, like that seems really related to me. It's like all that exists is the earth.
Well, here's I really don't want to dominate this conversation, but I've got a little like key that maybe will help us to unlock that a little bit, because I'm reading through Pavel Florensky right now, and he talks about this word epoche, and epoche is suspension of judgment, right? And there's two ways to suspend judgment. There's epoche, and then there's epoche as ataraxy, which is another Greek word, which I don't know what that means. But the epoche, the just straight up epoche, is when you are a materialist, basically. Okay, so you end up in a skeptical position where you can't necessarily make a judgment, and so you say something like, that cannot be. All right, because because most of the time you're looking at something that is paradoxical in nature. Like if you take anything to its nth degree, let's say, you always end up at some kind of paradox, because Florensky says where there's a yes, there's a no. Where there's a no, there's a yes, right? There's always two sides to the coin, right? So this epoche as skepticism is one, and the other one is epoche as ataraxy, which is what the ascetics practice, where they suspend judgment, and you see this in the lives of the saints, where they don't make judgments, okay, because they're waiting on the Lord. So it's a a cloud of unknowing, if you want to call it that, right? Where you can't make the judgment because you don't know, because God is the judge, essentially. And then he goes into this description as this epoche, this skepticism, this cannot be, right? So let's take the worst case scenario. Let's say you encounter a paradox, and you walk up to the paradox and you say, this can't be, like Moses looking at the burning bush. This cannot be, right? But it's happening in front of you. But you refuse to just suspend your judgment, like really, like literally transcendentally, let it float, right? Well, then he says you're in Gehenna, where the worm never dies, right? And where your thirst is never sated. He describes that state as hell, Gehenna. Because you refuse, you become the judge, right? Where you say that cannot be.
Nothing exists without my permission. Blood Meridian.
There you go.
Judge Holden from Blood Meridian.
Nice. I haven't read that. I heard it's really brutal, so I just
It's the craziest. It's the craziest.
I'll just pretend. My imagination's pretty rich, so I don't need anyone to describe it. Yeah.
Reminds me of I always have Tom Waits ringing in my head. But, you should surrender, but you can't let go. You know you should surrender, but you can't let go. Come on up to the house.
Yeah, you love that song. I want to hear the whole thing one day from you.
Have I not played the whole thing?
Just nice little bits and pieces.
Oh, well, maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll close the show out with a little "Come On Up to the House."
That'd be good. Be good. Yeah.
Well, any final thoughts? We are coming up on 1:00, and
I have a question for you, Rigel.
Talk to me.
Have you had a fuzzy navel inside your cosmic navel?
Oh yes. It's I could check right now, but there's definitely lint coming in and out of there all the time.
No, the cocktail. But double meaning.
Double meaning.
He got you there.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a setup though, but it turned into one. So
yeah. Oh my gosh. I don't know that I have. What's can you tell me about it?
I can't. I had to look it up, and I should know it because hospitality is kind of my game.
Wow.
Yeah. Peach schnapps and OJ. Right.
Nice.
Ooh, that sounds like...
it's no one's drinking them. I don't know if it's drinking them at True Lux. They might be, but no one's ordering it.
That's like
which
power.
I'm kind of throwing that out there. Like, let's see if he knows about it.
That's like power clashing, but I feel like that's like power clashing is a nuance that there's there's like, I think from maybe a, what do you call it? Like fashion design. Sorry, my words are just not coming to me today. From a fashion standpoint, there's like power clashing would be wearing two shades of like blue.
Okay, yeah.
That don't really, they're like,
there's no contrast.
There's no contrast, but they're like not close enough to complement each other, and they're too far. They create kind of this discomfort.
Not hidden.
In the design world, we used to say you have contrast. Shoot, now I'm forgetting there was like 3 cons, but like you're talking about like conflict, like something that's too close to be a contrast, but too far to you know what I mean? Like it's just like in that middle zone where it's just clashing.
Yeah. It just like breaks open the discomfort. And I feel like when people do that accidentally, but then I think there's also people who will kind of artistically play with these fuzzy breaking points, that actually
Is that
break
kind of like the magician archetype?
potentially.
Cool.
Yeah, like kind of breaking your perception a little bit.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's right on. And in that breaking of perception, something new can be seen that couldn't be seen before. But, you're playing with fire. That's burning bush territory.
Got to be careful with that stuff.
That's right. But it's also the path. It's all the path, bro. Man, there's no way through except the fire, man.
Yeah, the only way out is through. Yeah.
Trust your doom.
Amen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, do you, Sherry, do you have anything you want to read before we close out, or do you want me to play a little "Come On Up to the House"? I'm game for whatever.
Can we do both?
Yeah, over
If I
sure.
keep it short.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to give Douglas Harding the last word. This is out of his big book. I think you're going to love this, Rigel. He says, the further apart we draw, the higher our mutual status tends to become. On the other hand, we get progressively out of touch. What you are at this moment, in and to yourself, becomes more and more irrelevant and beyond my reach. We live in different worlds. No signals can pass between us as contemporaries. What your past is doing to me now, and the future I am now preparing for you as a consequence, are as much of you as I can find room for. And your present condition over there is at most a futile ghost haunting my absolute elsewhere. My relations with you will take the form of incoming knowledge about you and outgoing will to modify you. There is no love lost between us, or rather, it is all lost. We know only how to use each other. And then I'm not going to read the rest. I'm going to read a little bit from here. He says, there remains the love which restores the world's life, the love which, placing itself instantaneously at the other's center, the capital C, bridges the time gulf. Love is of the present. Love is now. And then a little further down, he says, for love is of God. To the Greeks, God was divine knowledge. To the Hebrews, divine will. To the Christians, divine love. The first looks to the past, the second to the future, the third to the present. And the third is the greatest. Not to love anyone, that is the real atheism. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death. In effect, he is a fratricide. For to know and to act towards your brother without loving him is to deny him present existence, so that he shall become the appendage of your past and future. And then he says, you have to place yourself at the center of a man's philosophic vision, and you understand at once all the different things it makes him write or say. But if you keep outside, use your post-mortem method, try to build the philosophy up out of the single phrases, and of course, you fail. You crawl over the thing like a myopic ant over a building, tumbling into every microscopic crack or fissure, finding nothing but inconsistency, and never suspecting that a center exists. Not even a book, not even this book, can be understood without something like a timeless love for its author.
Wow. That is so rich. That's like, I need to go back and just meditate on like one sentence at a time.
Yeah.
That is thick.
Same.
Oh my gosh. Well, now I have another book to buy, Sherry. I just bought, oh my gosh.
Don't buy the abridged version.
Okay, yeah, no, that's good. Not the abridged version.
And if you buy the other one, it'll take you a lifetime to read it. I'm not putting any pressure on myself for that one. Just little by little.
Okay, so what's the name of? Tell me the name of the book again.
It's called Hierarchy: The Hierarchy of Heaven and Earth.
Heaven and Earth. Wow. That is punk rock. That is so punk rock.
Makes me think of Sabbath, Heaven and Hell.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, any last kind of words, anything that just popped out to you during this time in the Cosmic Navel, a word or a thought, and then I can close us out with some come on up to the house. Anything that stood out for you, Ezra, Matt, JD, Sherry?
Driftwood in your intro,
Yeah.
you were talking about driftwood.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have anchor, sometimes we're drifting, sometimes there's a storm, but that one word just stuck out. So that bubbled up for me. So there you go. Now it's yours again.
It has a lot of tactile, visceral, mimetic kind of history with me. Have you spent time on coastal areas?
I have, yeah. I have.
Where?
Los Angeles.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
you've seen real driftwood. It's
Yeah.
it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Rigel, I just want to show you the book so you don't buy the wrong one.
Okay.
It's
Got
a
it.
really basic edition because it's a Buddhist publishing company.
Yeah. It's humongous.
It's
That's
really
bigger
big.
than your that's so
The
big.
Amazon thing.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Oh, cool.
You can also do the small one. Large type.
It'll also
Large
blow your
type.
mind. I mean, yeah.
Nice to see you, Neil.
I have a big pile of driftwood about 7 feet to my left right now, so it all fits.
Oh,
What are you gonna do
sweet.
with it?
What's that?
What are you planning to do with it?
Like a blackwater aquarium.
Cool.
The driftwood will impart all sorts of good beneficial tannins and everything to the water.
I know. I was an aquarium girl for many years. I had
Oh, all right. Oh,
a-
sweet.
500 liter, 2 500 liter tanks.
All right. This is gonna be like a little 7-gallon one. So it's just gonna be for snails and shrimp. I got my fish one over in the other room.
I got to read this from Joy. Joy, so good to see you out there. I miss you. Wish you jumped on with us. I think, dear ones, re-epoch, ataraxy, meditation, hezekiah, the Jesus prayer, these are sustained micro-kenotic attitudes and motions, self-relinquishing, self-emptying, essential motions. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts that popped up from any of you before I dive in?
I'm ready.
All right. All right, come on up to the house. Tom waits. Oh, can you all mute yourself just so I don't get feedback stuff? Well, the moon is broken and the sky is cracked. Come on up to the house. The only thing that you can see is all that you lack. You come on up to the house. All your crying don't do no good. Come on up to the house. But come down off that cross. We could use the wood or driftwood. Come on up to the house. I said, come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Well, the world is not my home. I'm just passing through. You come on up to the house. There's no light in the sun, oh, no irons in the fire. Come on up to the house. The engine, the seas are stormy. You can't find no pole. Yeah, come on up to the house. Oh, Junkman's Choir. Does the life seem nasty? The booty shed short. Come on up to the house. Well, the sea waters are stormy and you can't find no port. That's when you come on up to the house. I said, come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Well, the world is not my home, I'm just passing through. You come on up to the house. There's nothing in this world that you can do. Come on up to the house. And you've been whipped by the forces inside of you. That's when you come on up to the house. Well, you're high on top of your mountain of woe. Come on up to the house. Then you know you should surrender, but you can't let go. You come on up to the house. Well, you know you should surrender, but you can't let go. You come on up to the house. I said, come on up to the house. Baby, come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. This would be like a 5-minute rock out session.
Thank you. Love it.
Rigel's
I
got
can't
game.
wait for the day when we're all in the same room.
I know. This needs to happen. Needs to happen. Thank you all. Man, it's so good to meet you, Matt, and see you again, Ezra. Sherry, you're like just a rock. And then, man, great having JD on here too. Hope you're still out there. So good.
Yeah, it's really nice to meet you, Matt, and nice to see you again, Ezra.
Yeah.
Say hi to your lovely wife.
And one more thing, if you guys want to, if you want to soft launch this 100 Days of Creating with me, any of you, feel free to just email me at Rigel, Rigel, at 100daysofcreating.com. And I'll send you a link. All right. Blessings upon all of you.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.